Hello, friends. I'm your host, Dr. Dave Layton, and thank you for joining me on our journey to hope. This podcast is a place where together we explore how to discover, sustain, and sometimes regain hope. Wherever you're listening, let's take a deep breath, open our hearts, and continue this journey towards hope. And remember, no one walks alone. Today's episode is brought to you by Come and See Publications. If today's message encouraged you, I invite you to visit comeandseepublications.com. You'll discover devotional books, Bible studies, and other Christ-centered resources to help you continue growing in your faith. That's comeandseepublications.com. One of the greatest privileges of my life each week is serving as a volunteer at our local cancer center. People occasionally thank me for volunteering, and I always feel a little uncomfortable when they do. I appreciate it, but it just makes me feel a little uncomfortable. I love a story I once heard about a military veteran. A child asked him if he was a hero. He smiled and answered, "No, but I served with some heroes." Well, I've never forgotten those words. I understand exactly what they mean. No, I'm not one of the heroes, but I have the privilege of serving alongside some of them. Every Monday morning, I walk through the doors of our local cancer center, and before I even greet my first patient, I pause for just a moment. I watch people arriving. Some come alone. Others come holding a husband's hand or leaning on a daughter for support. You can often see the questions in their eyes before a single word is spoken. That's when I'm reminded that healing begins long before the first medicine is given. It often begins with a smile, a welcome, a reassuring voice that says, "We're glad you're here." When most people think about a cancer center, they naturally think of the physicians and nurses, and rightfully so. Their knowledge, skill, and compassion change lives every day. They answer difficult questions, develop treatment plans, celebrate victories, and walk with patients through some of life's hardest times. They deserve every bit of the appreciation they receive. But today, I'd like us to notice something else. Let's begin our journey before the first appointment of the day. Long before the doors open, someone has already arrived to prepare the building. The floors are clean. Waiting rooms are ready. Every treatment area has been carefully cleaned and prepared. Someone most patients will never meet has already been working so others can receive care in a safe environment. A little later, the reception desk comes to life. The first patient walks through the door. That first smile matters. For many patients, simply walking through those doors requires enormous courage. Some have received difficult news only days before. Others wonder if today's scan will reveal progress or disappointment. Some are beginning treatment for the very first time. Then someone looks up, smiles warmly, and says, "Good morning. We're glad you're here." Those words may seem ordinary, but to an anxious heart, they are everything but ordinary. Behind another door, laboratory technicians begin processing blood samples. Every test is performed with remarkable skill because physicians depend upon those results to make important treatment decisions. Nearby, pharmacists prepare medications with incredible precision and attention to detail. Every dosage is carefully checked. Every detail matters. Patients may never see these men and women, but their careful work is essential to every treatment that follows. Schedulers quietly perform a task most of us could never imagine. They coordinate physicians, nurses, treatment rooms, laboratory work, infusion schedules, and countless appointments. When everything seems to flow smoothly, it's because someone behind the scenes has spent hours making it happen. Then there are the volunteers. Some greet patients. Some escort them to treatment areas. Some offer coffee, snacks, or blankets. Some simply sit beside someone who doesn't want to be alone. Many conversations begin with simple questions. How are you today? Sometimes the answer is, I'm doing fine. And sometimes the answer comes with tears. Sometimes people don't need answers. They simply need someone willing to listen. One of the beautiful things about volunteering is discovering that hope often arrives in very ordinary ways. A smile, a handshake, a warm blanket, a cup of coffee, or just a snack. Remembering someone's name, walking beside them rather than rushing ahead. None of these things cure cancer, yet every one of them reminds a patient that they matter, that they are seen, that they are not facing this journey alone. Having once been a patient myself, I know what those moments feel like. Several years ago, I was the one sitting in the treatment chair. I was the one waiting for test results. I was the one wondering what tomorrow might bring. Today, by God's grace, I have the privilege of standing on the other side of that journey. Every time I greet someone or offer a word of encouragement, I remember the kindness that was once shown to me. Hope has a remarkable way of coming full circle. And by the way, if you hear a little emotion in my voice, I've had to edit this a few times. Cancer centers remind me of that truth every week. Healing is not accomplished by one remarkable physician. It happens because hundreds of people faithfully perform thousands of acts of service, many of which will never be noticed by the people they help. Those quiet acts rarely receive recognition. And you know what? The ones performing them, they're not looking for recognition. Yet they often become the very things God uses to strengthen another person's heart. Perhaps that's one of heaven's greatest surprises. Many of the names celebrated there may be names few people recognize here. So today, I'd like to offer a simple challenge. The next time you walk into a hospital, a doctor's office, a church building, or even your workplace, look beyond the obvious. Notice the quiet servants. Notice the receptionist. Notice the person cleaning the hallway. Notice the volunteer. Notice the technician. Notice the one who quietly keeps everything running. Then do something wonderfully simple. Learn their names. Many wear a name tag. Thank them. Encourage them. You may discover that one of the greatest ways to spread hope is simply to notice the people the rest of us too often overlook. Let me tell you about one of my favorites. Her name is Miss Rose. She's the wonderful, quiet, and gracious, loving lady who keeps things cleaned and picked up. Thank you, Miss Rose. You never know how much those words may mean, and if you happen to be one of those quiet servants, please hear this. Your work matters. Your kindness matters. Your faithfulness matters. You may never know all the lives you've touched, but God does. He notices every quiet act of love offered in his name. Well, friends, thank you for joining us on our journey to hope. More articles, videos, devotionals, books, and an encouragement, please visit comeandseepublications.com. That's comeandseepublications.com. I'm your host, Dave Layton. Remember, no one walks alone.